His Excellency François Hollande, President of the French Republic, will now deliver his remarks.
L'appel a été lancé et je remercie
The
la
appeal
sénatrice
been
et
launched,
Marion
and
Cotillard
please allow me to
de l'avoir
thank
prononcé.
the senator as well as the French actress Marion Cotillard for reading it. We are here together,
Responsables politiques,
political leaders,
dirigeants de grandes organisations internationales,
representatives of major
personnalités économiques,
NGOs,
culturelles, universitaires, pour convaincre
academics,
pour
cultural
mobiliser
figures,
les opinions publiques.
to convince the world, to
Je
mobilize
remercie Nicolas Hulot
the public
d'avoir,
opinion. And please allow me to thank Nicolas Hulot for taking this initiative.
si nous voulons réussir,
Because if we want to succeed in December,
il faudra que les diplomates
the
soient au
diplomats
meilleur.
must be at their best. Of course they are.
Il faudra que les instances
We will
de l'ONU
also need
puissent
the
accompagner
UN
ce
bodies
processus.
to support that process, and they're ready
Il
to do
faudra
so.
que nous puissions avoir avec
We will
les dirigeants de la
also
planète
need
des explications nécessaires,
to have the necessary
de
discussions
manière à ce que
with
les
the world
engagements soient
leaders
pris.
so that commitments
Mais il
are
faudra
made.
aussi et
But we
surtout
will
la
also,
mobilisation de l'opinion publique.
and
C'est le
before
sens
all,
de
need
cet
the
appel.
public opinion to
C'est
mobilize.
un appel
And this is the purpose
fait
of this
ici à
appeal.
Manille,
An appeal being launched here in Manila.
qui est aux yeux du monde
In the
un
eyes of the
symbole de
world,
souffrance et
Manila
d'espoir.
is a symbol of suffering and hope.
C'est celle qu'ont vécu
The suffering
hélas
is that which unfortunately
des typhons,
was the suffering
des tsunamis.
of the victims of typhoons, tsunamis, disasters, earthquakes.
Ce sont des centaines de milliers de
Hundreds
Philippins qui ont été
and
déplacés.
thousands of Filipinos
La
who were
souffrance, c'est
displaced.
celle aussi que beaucoup
The suffering
imaginent
is
avec la
also
montée des eaux, la
that
disparition des îles,
threatening us
l'augmentation
in case of
l'intensité même des
the rise of the
tempêtes.
sea level, given the intensity and the
Mais il y a
number of
l'espoir.
storms as
C'est
well.
aussi ici, à
Nonetheless, there is a hope
Manille. Espoir
here
d'un peuple
in Manila, the hope
qui,
of a people
résiste, qui,
which is resisting,
lui aussi,
fighting,
face à l'épreuve, se soulève, se
and
redresse,
which is rising,
s'organise.
given the challenge and getting organized.
Et c'est pourquoi nous voulions que ce soit
And this is why
à Manille
we wanted to do it in Manila.
l'appel puisse
We
être
wanted the appeal to be
lancé. Quel
launched
est le sens
here.
de cet appel?
What is its
C'est
purpose,
de pouvoir
its meaning?
conclure à Paris
It is
lors de
so
cette
that
conférence
in Paris,
sur le climat
on the occasion of
un
that climate
accord
conference, we can
général
reach
et
a
contraignant
comprehensive
pays
and
par
binding
pays
agreement,
pour
country by country,
assurer
in
que
order
le monde ne
to make
connaîtra
sure
pas un réchauffement
that
qui
the world
l'exposerait
will
à
not
des
face
catastrophes encore bien plus considérables que celles que nous
global
avons connues.
warming that would lead
Il
to
fallait une voix, la vôtre,
even worse disasters than the ones we've been facing.
votre
And
voix,
we needed a voice
que je
like
l'ai
yours,
entendue
President Aquino,
lors
the voice I heard
des sommets internationaux
on the
à l'ONU,
occasion of international
où
summits
vous avez
in
dit que
the
nous
UN,
pouvions tous
when
quelque
you
chose,
said
prendre
that
notre
we
part,
could all do
jouer notre
something,
rôle.
play our
Il
role,
fallait aussi des
do our
voix
part.
multiples, celles qui
We
sont
needed
entendues
other
ici.
voices as well,
Il y fallait
multiple
la voix
voices, those
française,
we're hearing here.
Parce
We
que la
needed the
France,
voice of France,
et c'est son honneur,
because
c'est aussi son
France,
devoir, c'est
and for us it
prendre
is both a duty and an
lorsque c'est
honor.
nécessaire,
France
ses
knows when it is
responsabilités.
necessary
Nous
to do
l'avons
so,
montré dans
face up
d'autres
to its
circonstances.
responsibilities,
face
as we've shown in
à
other
d'autres épreuves.
circumstances, facing
Quel est
other
maintenant
challenges.
le sens de
So
cet
what is
appel?
now the purpose of
appel
this
À
appeal?
la justice.
It is an
L'appel
appeal
de
for
Manille,
justice.
C'est pour que le monde
The
soit
Manila
plus juste,
appeal is for the world
entre les
to be
pays
more fair
développés et
between
les pays
developed
fragiles,
countries and
entre les
fragile
pays
ones,
riches,
between
et les
wealthy
pays pauvres.
countries and poor ones,
entre les générations
between
aussi,
generations as well,
celles qui ont eu tout le temps,
Those
tout le loisir
who had
pour
all their
prélever
time
des
to
ressources
extract
sur la planète,
resources
mais
from
qui
the planet,
maintenant ont le devoir
and who now
d'agir
have a duty, the
pour
duty
que
to act,
leurs enfants,
so that their
leurs
children,
petits-enfants
their
puissent
grandchildren as well, can live,
vivre tout simplement sur
simply
cette
live
planète.
on this planet.
La justice,
Justice
c'est aussi de permettre que
is also
tous les progrès de la science, de la
to
technologie,
allow make
de
sure that the
l'imagination humaine, de l'économie
progress of science,
soit
the
au
economy,
service
the
de la
technology,
construction,
everything is at the
de la
service
préservation,
of
de
the
la
protection,
réparation, de la prévention, et non
prevention,
pas de la destruction.
everything rather than destruction
C'est
of
la
our own
raison pour
planet.
laquelle une alliance
This is
doit
the
être
reason why an
conclue
alliance must be
entre
found
toutes les forces
between
les
all the
forces
forces
des États,
that
les forces
of the
économiques,
states,
les forces
as well as economic forces,
associatives, les forces
that of
culturelles,
NGOs,
pour que nous
cultural
puissions
forces,
faire vivre
so that we
l'appel
can
de Manille.
make this
L'appel de
appeal
Manille, c'est aussi
live.
l'imagination.
This appeal
Et
is
c'est
also
notamment à
a matter
travers
of
le
imagination.
fonds vert,
And through the
les
Green
financements
Fund
innovants, tout ce qui
and the
peut
innovating
permettre de
financing,
capter, de mobiliser
everything
des
that we
ressources
can do to
pour les mettre
mobilize
au service du
resources
développement.
and allocate them, put them
L'appel
at
de
the
Manille,
service of
c'est un appel
development.
à
The
l'invention.
Manila appeal
Parce que la lutte contre
is an
le
appeal for
changement climatique,
invention,
qui est à la fois une
because
obligation, c'est aussi une opportunité.
climate change means that we have a duty,
Parce que ça
but
va
it
nous
is also an
permettre
opportunity
d'inventer, oui, une
because it will
croissance nouvelle,
allow us to
une
invent a new
croissance
form
verte.
of growth, a green
Nous
growth.
allons être meilleurs.
We will be better.
Meilleurs parce que nous sommes
Better because
contraints de l'être.
we have no alternative.
Meilleurs pour les énergies renouvelables.
Better for
Meilleurs pour
renewable
stocker de
energies,
l'énergie.
better at
Meilleurs
storing
pour
energy,
organiser nos villes.
better to
pour assurer
organize
nos
our
déplacements.
cities,
Meilleurs pour
or
inventer des
transport.
technologies zéro carbone.
better
Meilleurs
at
pour
imagining
organiser notre
carbon-free
fiscalité.
technology,
Meilleurs pour
organizing our
même
taxes,
établir une concurrence
better as
entre les
well
entreprises.
at organizing
prix
competition between the companies or
Et
businesses
c'est
with
l'agenda des
a
solutions
carbon price. And this is the purpose
finalement
of the
l'expression
agenda of
de notre
solutions
invention.
that will
Enfin, l'appel
translate
de Manille,
our
c'est un appel
inventions.
à la
Lastly,
promotion d'un monde
the appeal
nouveau.
of Manila is for a new world
Parce que ce qui est en cause,
because
c'est un
what is
nouveau
at
mode de
stake
développement plus
is
juste,
a new form of
plus respectueux.
development, more fair,
C'est un monde
more
où nous
respectful,
puissions
a
nous
world
dire
where we
que ce
can
que nous
say to
faisons est
yourself
utile.
that what we're doing
Un
is
monde
useful.
où chaque pays
A
prendra
world
ses
where each and every
responsabilités
country
en
will
fonction
face
de
up
ses
to its
propres
face up
capacités.
its responsibilities
Un monde
depending
où
on
une
its
solidarité
capacities. A
pourra
world
voir
with a
le
new
jour
form of
entre pays
solidarity
riches et pays
between
émergents.
wealthy and emerging
Beaucoup
countries.
Un moment dans leur démarche politique,
Many at some
imaginer un
point in
monde
their
nouveau.
political approach
Ils n'ont
have
pas toujours
considered
construit
a
un
new
monde
world,
meilleur.
but they did not
Et celui que
necessarily
nous
build a
avons
better
à
world.
l'esprit, c'est un monde
And
vivable.
what we have in
C'est un
mind
monde
is a
humain.
world where we
Et
can
c'est ce
live
qui nous permet de nous
that is
rassembler.
human, and this is
C'est Lévi-Strauss
on this
disait que
that we
l'arc-en-ciel
can
des
agree.
cultures humaines
As Levi-Strauss was
aura
saying,
fini de
the
s'abîmer
rainbow
dans
of
le
human
vide
cultures
creusé par notre
will
fureur.
end up sinking in the
Eh bien,
vacuum
il faut mettre
generated
un
by
terme
our
à la
fury.
fureur, et
So we
il faut
have to
mettre
put an end
dans
to
le
this
ciel l'arc-en-ciel
fury
des
and
cultures humaines.
put in the sky
si nous le
the
voulons,
rainbow of
Il sera
cultural
dessiné à Paris.
of
dans
human
300
cultures. This
J'appelle
new
donc
world we can
les chefs d'État
shape
et de
it over the
gouvernement
next 300
tout
days
mettre en œuvre
before we meet in
pour
Paris,
conclure un
and
accord
I'm
en
calling
décembre.
upon all the heads of
J'appelle
state and government
les forces
to
de
do
la
their
jeunesse,
utmost so that an
les
agreement can be
citoyens,
found. I'm launching an
mais
appeal for the
aussi,
citizens,
les acteurs
for the
économiques,
youth, as well as
les artistes,
the economic
les
stakeholders,
universitaires,
as well as academics,
à
artists,
s'engager, à
everyone, to
s'organiser
commit themselves, to get
pour
organized,
nous élever,
so
pour
that
porter
we can
une
rise
cause
to the
qui peut
challenge,
tous nous
to
rassembler.
defend this cause on which we can all
Face à
agree.
l'histoire, il y a ceux qui la regardent,
There's those
qui la
who
contemplent,
watch
et il y a
history
ceux qui
happening
la font.
and those who are
Aujourd'hui,
making
il
it.
faut l'écrire.
And
Ce
today
sera
we
à
have to
Paris
write
dans
history.
300 jours.
This is what we will be doing in Paris in 300 days.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
His Excellency Benigno S. Aquino III, President of the Republic of the Philippines, will now deliver his remarks.
Our Manila call to action on climate change represents solidarity in action. We are hopeful that this joint call will help us gain momentum for a truly global initiative to address climate change. I extend my gratitude to President Hollande and the Republic of France, along with all nations of goodwill who have pledged action to address this global threat. Over the past few years, the Philippines has found itself at the forefront of this issue. The impact of climate change on our people has been massive. For instance, the Christmas season is normally one of the most joyous portions of the year for us. And given the fact that we have over 10 million Filipinos overseas, there are plenty of family reunions during this time. Unfortunately, recent years have transformed some of us in government making us a little less joyous and a little more tense and apprehensive. It has become a time in which we have to prepare for out-of-season typhoons that have hit us in increasing frequency. Allow me to explain. The rainy season in the Philippines typically lasts from June to November. However, Tropical Storm Owashi in 2011, Typhoon Bofa in 2012, Typhoon Hagupit in 2014 all made landfall in December. There was also Typhoon Mekala, which occurred in January of this year. Of course, this does not even include the storms of increasing magnitude that have hit us during the regular rainy season, such as typhoons Nari and Haiyan in 2013. Our administration has thus been confronted by a vicious and unsustainable cycle of destruction and reconstruction. In fact, Typhoon Hagupit managed to destroy the bunkhouses in Tacloban built in the wake of Typhoon Haiyan. Our primary objective is to stop this cycle of destruction and reconstruction, which is why we are building back better. However, there is a truism that we must consider. When you fight Mother Nature, you cannot win. Hence, to address this issue, we must not just deal with the after effects of climate change, but with its primordial causes. In this light, we as a developing country welcome that countries like France have emerged as champions of a global partnership to address this issue. This statement thus is a welcome call to action. No longer can we be paralyzed by debates over the obligations of individual countries. All of us must do everything we can in the quickest and most impactful way possible. The choice before us is clear. We can either overcome this problem together or together reap the consequences of apathy. For this reason, it is incumbent upon us to conclude a universal climate change agreement in Paris later this year, one that is ambitious, that is guided by science, and that allows developing countries to pursue their economic goals in the context of sustainable development. Rest assured that the Philippines will continue to exert its utmost to address this issue and follow through on the commitments outlined in this call to action. We stand in hope that many nations in the global community will do the same. Thank you.